It all started with a glitch, a weird, spooky glitch on a digital map. At first, I thought it was just my tired eyes playing tricks on me, or maybe a bug in the app, but the more I stared, the more it felt like the map itself was trying to tell me something. The screen flickered, and a strange, pulsing light hovered over a spot I'd never seen before. My name is Leo. My friends and I call ourselves the Phantom Finders. Maya, our fearless leader who never backs down from a challenge. Sam, the history buff who knows every haunted legend in town. Chloe, the skeptic photographer who's always ready to debunk the supernatural. And Noah, the muscle, who pretends not to be scared but always jumps at the smallest noise. Together, we've spent countless nights chasing shadows and stories, hoping for something real. We hunted ghosts for fun, but never found anything real, until now. Most nights ended with us laughing at creaky pipes or the wind rattling old windows. But this time, something felt different. The air was charged, like the moment before a storm. One night, I spotted a new pin, the Midnight Guesthouse. It wasn't there before, and the name alone sent chills down my spine. The pin pulsed on the map, almost as if it was waiting for someone to notice. It appeared only after midnight, at an address that didn't exist. I checked and rechecked, but every map, every GPS, showed nothing but empty space. It was as if the place was hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. I called Maya, heart pounding. This was it, a digital ghost. My voice shook as I explained, but she didn't hesitate. "We're going," she said. The others agreed, curiosity and fear mixing in their voices. We piled into the van and drove to the coordinates, a deserted lot at the edge of town. The drive was silent, each of us lost in our own thoughts, wondering if this would finally be the night we found something real. At 11:59 p.m., it was just weeds and trash. The lot looked abandoned, forgotten by time, with nothing but the sound of distant traffic and the rustle of wind through the overgrown grass. But at midnight, a shimmering light grew, and suddenly, a massive, old guest house stood before us. It was as if the building had been pulled from another world, materializing out of thin air, its windows glowing with an eerie, inviting light.
Chloe scoffed, "It's just a projection." But her voice shook. Even she couldn't hide the fear in her eyes as the house loomed over us, impossibly real.
It wasn't a projection. The house was real, solid, ancient, and waiting. The air around it felt heavy, thick with secrets and stories that begged to be uncovered. The Midnight Guesthouse had a creaking porch and a heavy oak door with a brass knocker shaped like a sleeping face. The wood was worn smooth by time, and the knocker's eyes seemed to flutter open as we approached.
We grabbed our gear, EMF meters, thermal cameras, voice recorders, and stepped onto the porch. Every footstep echoed, as if the house was listening, waiting for us to make the first move.
The air grew cold, colder than the night should have been, and a thin mist curled around our feet, swirling with every nervous breath, and the world outside faded into blackness. The streetlights vanished, the stars blinked out, and it felt like we'd stepped out of our world and into the unknown. We were in its world now. The house seemed to breathe, its shadows shifting as if alive, and every instinct screamed at us to run. The adventure we'd always wanted had found us. But this was no game. This was something ancient, something that had waited for us to arrive. But we had no idea what we were walking into. Every legend, every ghost story we'd ever heard suddenly felt real, and the weight of it pressed down on us. The door loomed before us, daring us to enter. Its surface was cold to the touch, and the knocker seemed to whisper our names. We took a breath and crossed the threshold. The hunt was on, and there was no turning back. The oak door swung open on its own, inviting us into darkness.
We stepped into a grand foyer, our flashlights swallowed by the gloom.
Silence pressed in, thick and suffocating, broken only by our nervous breathing.
Mirrors covered every wall, huge, ornate, warped, and endless.
Our reflections multiplied, staring back with wide, anxious eyes.
Sam's EMF meter spiked wildly. "The field's off the charts," he whispered.
Chloe snapped photos, her flash revealing flickers, shadows, faces, things that shouldn't be there.
The mirrors glowed with a cold, dead light, making us look like ghosts ourselves.
The house felt alive, watching us through its countless glass eyes. We were trapped in its reflection.
We explored the ground floor, sticking close together, our footsteps echoing on the warped wooden boards. Every shadow seemed to stretch and breathe, and the air was thick with the scent of old secrets and dust.
The dining room was set for a party that never happened. Dust thick on everything, except in the mirrors. The table was frozen in time, glasses half filled, plates untouched, as if the guests had vanished mid-toast. The mirrors, though, gleamed strangely, untouched by the years.
Whispers slithered from the walls, too faint to understand, but chilling. They seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, curling around us like cold fingers, making the hairs on our necks stand up.
Sam pointed to a mirror. Its reflection showed a lively feast, ghostly figures toasting in silence. Their faces were blurred, mouths moving in a silent cheer. Then, in a blink, the vision vanished, leaving only our pale faces staring back.
Chloe, skeptical, approached a mirror. Her reflection smiled, a twisted, evil grin. The real Chloe froze in terror, unable to look away, her breath fogging the glass as the reflection's eyes glinted with malice.
Our reflections moved on their own, just for a second. It was as if the glass held a world of its own, one that watched us back, waiting for a chance to reach through.
The whispers grew louder. Stay, forever. The words seemed to vibrate in the air, echoing in our minds, impossible to ignore.
Noah, trying to be brave, banged the table. Show us something real. His voice trembled, but he tried to sound defiant, challenging whatever haunted the room to reveal itself.
The room fell silent, heavy and angry. Even the air seemed to press in on us, thick with anticipation, as if the house itself was holding its breath. We realized the house wasn't just haunted, it was hungry, and it wanted us. The walls seemed to pulse, and the darkness outside the windows deepened, as if the night itself was closing in. We were in deep trouble. Fear settled over us like a heavy blanket, and we clung to each other, desperate for comfort in the growing terror. And it was only getting started. The house had awakened and we were trapped inside its nightmare. The house had claimed its first soul, and we were next. Panic set in, but Noah was lost, trapped in the house's world. The room returned to normal, as if nothing had happened. He screamed as he was dragged through the glass. No shattering, just gone. The mirror rippled, then stilled. Noah was gone. Noah's reflection grinned, pulling him toward the mirror. We tried to help, but the air was thick, holding us back. A ghostly hand burst through, grabbing Noah's jacket. The temperature dropped. Noah's reflection moved on its own, reaching out from the glass. Noah's challenge echoed, and the house answered. Mirrors flickered, their light blinding. The whispers became shrieks. Panic exploded. Chloe screamed, Maya shouted for Noah, and the rest of us froze.
Maya yanked us toward the door, desperate to escape.
But the front door was gone, replaced by a seamless mirror.
Maya pounded on the glass, but it was solid, unbreakable.
Every window, every exit, just more mirrors reflecting our terror.
Laughter echoed from the walls, cold and cruel.
It's not going to let us leave, Chloe whispered, sobbing. Maya set her jaw. There has to be a way out. Old houses have secrets. We'll find one.
The house rumbled, as if amused by our hope. We were trapped in its maze, and time was running out. We had to move, fast. The house twisted around us, doors and halls shifting, splitting us up. Chloe and I found ourselves alone in a narrow, endless hallway lined with mirrors. Shadows danced at the edges of our flashlights. Too tall, too thin, always just out of sight.
Chloe clung to my arm. They're all around us, she whimpered.
The whispers returned, closer, lost. Join us. The walls pulsed, alive, breathing. We ran, desperate to find Maya and Sam. The house wanted to separate us, to pick us off one by one. We had to keep moving. The labyrinth was closing in. We were running out of time.
The ground stilled. Sam was gone. Maya was alone, surrounded by the dead. The house had claimed another. She had to escape, before it took her too. The cellar whispered, hungry for more. Maya ran for the stairs. "Maya, run!" he screamed. Before the earth swallowed him whole, Maya spun, flashlight catching Sam as he was dragged down by skeletal hands. Sam, horrified, realized, the house doesn't kill, it traps souls in glass, forever. He reached for a mirror, ghostly hands shot from the earth, grabbing his ankles. Maya and Sam found themselves descending into a cold, damp cellar. The basement was lined with cracked mirrors, each trapping a screaming face, souls of past guests.
Chloe and I fled upward, bursting into the attic. A single glowing mirror dominated the room. In it, a beautiful, cruel woman appeared, the house's master.
"You've entertained me. The house needs a soul. Leave her and you go free."
The attic door opened to the outside. Freedom, if I abandoned Chloe. I looked at Chloe, then at the spirit. "No, we leave together."
The spirit's face twisted in rage. "Foolish boy." A ghostly hand shot from Chloe's reflection, plunging into her chest. Chloe's eyes went wide, her skin turning gray. Her soul was stolen, pulled into the mirror.
Her empty body stood, lifeless. The house had claimed her too. I was alone. The house's hunger was endless. But dawn was coming. Maya burst into the attic, her face twisted with a storm of grief and fury, eyes wild as she scanned the shadows. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of dust and something colder, something unnatural. Every step she took seemed to echo with the memories of what we'd lost. The house trembled violently, the floorboards groaning beneath our feet. In the attic window, a swirling vortex pulsed and grew, its energy crackling with a supernatural force that threatened to tear the room apart.
"The house is fading, but I will have you!" the spirit shrieked, its voice echoing from the depths of the mirror. With a sudden, chilling lunge, the ghostly figure burst forth, its form twisting and writhing as it reached for us, desperate to drag us back into its world.
Maya tackled me with all her strength, knocking us both off balance and sending us stumbling toward the attic window, the only escape from the nightmare closing in. "It's the only way!" she yelled, her voice raw with terror and determination, as the spirit's icy grip brushed our heels. Without another thought, we leapt together, crashing through the vortex and the glass, tumbling into the empty lot below, just as the first rays of dawn broke through the darkness. The world spun, and for a moment I thought we might never stop falling.
Behind us, the guest house flickered like a dying candle, its walls dissolving into mist. Then, in an instant, it vanished, leaving only tangled weeds and a silence so deep it rang in our ears. We survived, but Noah, Sam, and Chloe were gone. Their beds were empty, their laughter erased, as if they'd never existed at all. We drove home in silence, haunted and broken, the weight of what we'd seen pressing down on us. Every shadow on the road seemed to whisper their names.
Days later, I caught a glimpse of something wrong, a twisted reflection in my bathroom mirror, a face that wasn't quite my own staring back at me with hollow eyes. For a split second, I was back in the attic, the air cold and heavy, a new mirror looming behind me, promising that the nightmare was far from over. The evil hadn't stayed behind. It had found a way to slip through, clinging to us like a shadow that would never let go. It had followed us home, lurking in every reflection, every darkened hallway, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. And now, it was waiting for